All right, so next up on the wheels of happiness, we've got a Quadtrac, a STX440 to be exact. This is a second generation Quadtrac. It would have been first generation would have been your 9370, and then the STX series, 440, 400, a number of them. But what we've got here is one of the bogey wheels. This is one of your bottom wheels, small wheels. And if you guys have been into this before, you understand seals. Bogey wheel seals are an issue. They've been updated multiple times throughout the years. This tractor actually has some of the original seals in them, which the original seals, and that's why we're in here, the original seals had your bearing down here in the bottom of the hole. Then above it, set this ring. Then above that, set your friction seal. And these seals are a steel-on-steel seal. And the way that they function is that this rubber ring applies pressure. And then two of these steel rings are lapped together, and they ride on the face, and that rubber ring provides pressure against the seals, and they ride steel on steel with just a thin film of oil, and that holds them together. Well, the early seals, just like these, were very thin seal. They were not very large and had this cup on the inside. Well, this design didn't last all that well, so what they do? They changed it. So the second generation seal that they had looked like this. This seal did not use the cup on the inside, but instead used a much larger rubber ring. And if you see, there's two haps that are lapped together, and these seat down inside of the bore, right here above the bearing. And that didn't work out too bad, but the biggest problem was trying to get the things together. You've got these two rubber seals and these two steel faces, one of which goes in the hub, and the other one which goes into this cup here on the back side of on the axle. And they're constantly fighting, trying to get away from each other, while you're trying to get them together and keep dirt from getting inside of them and everything else. So, there again, International in their infinite wisdom decided, well, we'll change it again. And so they changed it to the third iteration, and there's probably been a couple in between. I think at one point it was just a big rubber O-ring, kind of like a big dozer mud seal, or a final drive on a combine that has mud seals. They use the same thing as this, but use a giant big O-ring around them seals to create an oil seal inside the final drives. Well, the latest version that comes in a handy dandy little bag here. In this new style, if I can find somewhere to set it down, is actually, you don't want to really touch the faces of these seals. This works like a drive-in seal, and this is by far and large the best setup that has come out yet. So this setup, the great thing about it is, we can just put it right in the old wheel. Nope, we can't do that. We've got to put it in the new wheel. And the new wheel comes with an extra step in it here, so that this new seal can be pressed down in there. And you got to get a hammer and peck it down in there, just lightly around the edge, and you peck the new one on the shaft, which, you can reuse the shaft, right? Well, no, you can't do that either, because this little cast iron housing here on the new axle, which the axle is just a little short thing, goes across underneath the bogey wheel. It has one tire that hangs out this side and one tire that hangs out the other side. Well, this little cast iron piece, it drives off, so you can replace it in the event that it gets damaged. And of course, we can just drive the new one on because it's larger. Well, no, we can't do that because, you know, we've got to have a different length of bolt that goes in the end, and then we've got to have just about 10 or 15 thousandths difference in size of this flange, so the new one will just fall over top of this one and it won't drive on. So in order to change out this old style tire with the new style tire, so we can get the new style seal, because only about half of the parts are available for the old stuff, and it almost never fails that the bearings have spun in the hub or something along those lines, and the tire is worn out anyways. And instead of replacing it with the old parts that are half obsolete and never seem to be available, we were going to update it to the new stuff. Well, in order to get updated to the new, we get 2 new tires, 4 new bearings, 2 new seals, and a new shaft to the tone of just shy of about $1,500, $2,000 per pair of bogey wheels. So, yeah, great adventures here.